Thank you. Thank you all. Thanks for joining us. Gianluca, Simeone, Capgemini from the global SAP practice working with Amir. So today, the topic it's a very sensitive topic, no? But first of all, we want to start in setting the scene of what we are doing with our clients. So hoping you are familiar with the SAP products. Maybe you are using SAP ERP or other components. If you want to raise your hand just to understand, okay. So, oops, this is not the right one. Okay, this one. So again, just to set the scene, what we are doing with our clients is supporting during any kind of SAP transformation, okay? Today we are working a lot in moving from the legacy to the cloud. We're working a lot as well approaching the sovereign cloud for specific regulated industry. So we are considering generative AI and business AI not just a standalone topic, okay? But we are embedding this kind of great capabilities during each and every SAP transformation. Maybe you are working in moving from your ACC to RISE in the cloud, or maybe you're approaching your global rollouts. So it doesn't matter, okay? It's a kind of agnostic approach based on your kind of transformation. And we have three main specific drivers working with clients infusing this kind of technology, where basically we have the ambition to improve the business resilience, to improve the operational excellence, and at the same time to improve the time to value and time to market, okay? So why this? Because in the past, the ask from our clients was, please help us in boosting our SAP transformation, please help us in anticipating go lives, and our support, our answer was implementing GenAI accelerators to accelerate as much as possible the classical time-consuming tasks that we know during each and every SAP project, okay? In generating code, in configuring the systems, in managing the data, in testing the systems, and so on. And now the ask again from the client is, please help us in adapting, in re-engineering the business processes to achieve this kind of improvement on the business side. So the main ask is, please help us in augmenting our operational business as usual. Please help us in reducing the costs of the operations, okay? So how we're approaching those topics? First of all...
Just I'm curious to understand how many of them are familiar with ERP concept and SAP products? Do you have any SAP products in your landscape organization? Are you using them? Yes, one. Any ERP system? One there, okay.
So approaching this kind of technology, the first topic that we are addressing with clients is to be sure that implementing the new ERP from SAP or any kind of line of business products, we are considering all the latest and greatest capability that we have embedded in each and every SAP product, okay? So not just reinventing the wheel in building any kind of AI artifacts, but just starting thinking on what is already available, part of the SAP projects, okay? Maybe you already know Joule from SAP. It's a kind of co-pilot in the SAP space, and Joule, it's the right way to improve the user experience, to implement a lot of modernization on the user experience in consuming and executing the business process steps. We have additional capabilities that SAP is calling embedded AI, again, on the ERP, on the success factors and other products. So the first approach is to be sure that we are considering those capabilities during the re-engineering of the business processes, okay? Achieving, as mentioned before, the resilience of the business and the operational excellence. Our role as a system integrator, so for sure SAP cannot solve 100% of our business needs, and our role is in working with our clients in building additional capabilities consuming the same technology to solve specific business needs, okay? having a tailored approach with our clients, where again the scope is to solve the business pain points or just working together on the optimization of the business processes. So we are coming on the market with our implementation by industry and by line of business to complement the capability of SAP. So the approach is, we want to improve the business resilience, we want to modernize the operational stuff, we have a very extended library of capabilities from SAP and Capgemini that we can consider and we can infuse in each and every business process steps, okay? Last but not least is the time to value topic as mentioned before. So we need to boost this kind of transformation. Typically, approaching a global rollouts or approaching a very large transformation means multi-year initiatives. So the ask is, please accelerate as much as possible. Please anticipate go live, because 20 years ago was fine to invest in 5 or 6 or 7 years of kind of transformation. Today the approach is different. Today is to quickly deploy and maybe to move from the waterfall approach to something more agile. So how we are able to reduce this kind of effort and elapse, just because we have implemented an augmented software development life cycles. Means that we have GenAI accelerators powered by SAP and non-SAP technology, where we can accelerate the code implementation to solve the specific business needs. We can have GenAI accelerators to the testing part, the data migration, the classical business consultant activities in designing the business processes, in generating documentation, and so on. So it's a very extended list of accelerators, and this is kind of new default for us working with our clients, and the result is the time to value and time to market. So the main topic for today is, typically the first experimentation on using this kind of technology was kind of initiatives involving mainly hyperscalers, and mainly American hyperscalers like Microsoft, AWS, and so on. And this kind of technology and services at the end are available on the public cloud. So just considering if you are from a regulated industry or maybe a public sector, and maybe you want to avoid and you need to avoid the public cloud for obvious reasons. You need to have a different control on your data. You need something in line with your security principles. So the topic is how I can obtain this kind of value consuming technology with different kind of deployment option, because the public cloud is not for me. And this is why we decided last year to build a specific three-way partnership between Capgemini, SAP, and a French player. I'm sure you already know Mistral. So Mistral was a startup few years ago. Today it's a totally different reality. Today maybe you're already using Mistral technology on your side. So what we are doing is to implement this kind of value coming from the business AI and the generative AI, having a totally different flexible in how my data will be consumed by the GenAI models, how I can fine-tune my model, how I can take the control of the entire stack, the technical stack, to build on top all my business value for my business departments. And this is something that we have implemented starting from regulated industry, starting from specific geographies. But the nice story is that at the end, clients from any kind of industry, not just the regulated one, are asking exactly the same approach. Because we can achieve this kind of flexibility on all the layers. So clients from manufacturing, discrete manufacturing, are asking exactly the same. So they want to succeed exactly with the same principles on the security, because at the end, the data, the sensitivity of the data is relevant for any kind of industry. And this is how we are working. And maybe, Amir, you can go a bit more on detail in the approach.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Gianluca. Maybe going back to 2019, 2020, for SAP-centric clients, asking about the innovation, everything was related to the use of SAP Cloud Platform or SAP Business Technology Platform. And today, after 5 or 6 years, we are talking about how to innovate with AI. And again, we are on BTP. So from the, let's say, platform point of view, for SAP, everything is there, still there. From the Capgemini point of view, we have introduced our framework many years ago to tackle the monolith of SAP, how to do the clean core, execute in the right way the clean core principle, having agile infrastructure and systems by leveraging on 3 main pillars that you see on the right. So the Capgemini multi-pillar SAP architecture was all about consuming the out-of-the-box services and capabilities from the SAP, so as a standard, do the extension in a right way, compliance with clean core principle on the second pillar, which is BTP, for both integration and extension. But we do not stop here, because we sometimes need to leverage on services provided by hyperscalers such as AWS, Azure, Google, or other players to bring the best of the breed for our clients. When it comes now to AI, the story is the same, because we have the out-of-the-box technologies within SAP in the first pillar, all the custom AI technologies and capabilities on BTP to build the custom agents, custom business AIs, embedded scenarios as well. And still, again, one more time, we leverage on the other capabilities on the hyperscaler side. But where it resides, Mistral AI is very interesting in this scenario, because we can go and consume ChatGPT APIs or any other LLM provider through the generative AI gateway of SAP as well, which is certified, everything super secure. But you can only find Mistral now hosted on BTP as the core to bring your innovation, building your models from scratch, do the fine-tuning on your custom models. This kind of operation cannot be done on ChatGPT or any other LLM provider. You cannot do the fine-tuning there. But on Mistral AI, you can do and build whatever you want from scratch, exactly in line with what the business personas requests and needs are asking to have that capabilities within the process. And it's not the only deployment option, I would say, because we will see now, Gianluca will tell us about how many deployment options we have when it comes to Mistral AI to just cover whatever it comes from the regulated industry and sometimes non-regulated industry, that they are asking for more agility, more personalized capabilities from LLM and model point of view for the AI solutions. So in the next slide, you will see different kind of, let's say, reference architecture and the deployment option. I leave that to you if you want to.
Yeah, so again, the topic is let's try in avoiding the public cloud because we are on regulated industry. So the value that we can achieve here is the Mistral technology, technically 100% hosted on the same SAP BTP box, so the cloud platform from SAP. And it's kind of like a matryoshka, no? So we can have the Mistral GenAI technology hosted in BTP, having BTP hosted on the private cloud or sovereign cloud or SAP data center or customer data centers, okay? And this is, it's very unique because it's not possible with OpenAI, it's not possible with Bedrock's Gemini and so on, okay? And this is what we are representing on the first box, Mistral hosted on BTP. But on the other end, we are approaching clients that are already maybe consuming Mistral technology for any kind of other non-SAP reasons. So Mistral is already there, and typically Mistral is implemented on-prem on the client side. So the approach is, on the second layer, is to approach what is called local hosted AI architecture. Just complementing the on-prem installation of Mistral, moving from the non-SAP space, complementing the SAP space, okay? And we are considering this just as a kind of intermediate state, because the suggested approach is to jump on the hosted in BTP, 100% hosted, and covering all the principles that are represented as well on the right side. So your data will stay on the same secured box of BTP. No prompt will go outside consuming any kind of API provided by hyperscalers and other players on the public cloud. Everything in your regulated data center or in your cloud, and cloud today means a lot of stuff, private, sovereign, and so on. So based on this kind of principle, maybe you want Amir to talk about this. This is just an example. This is an example of kind of intelligent ERP apps that we have implemented on top on the reference architecture I mentioned before. This is coming from a real client. It was an experimentation a few months ago, and it's an intelligent app validated by SAP as well. Means that we have a kind of SAP certification because we are the use case it's implemented that exactly following the SAP best practice for the regulated industry with BTP.
Yes, this use case centers around clients that comes from aerospace and defense sector. So you can imagine, the sensitivity of data and the operations and data protection and data privacy of this kind of organization, how it's super limiting. And they were trying to have an intelligent solution to bring efficiency when it comes to resolving non-conformities, and not only also identifying them, creating the right documentation, and proposing the solution. So how you can actually just easily take a picture from a situation that you're detecting. The AI can actually describe why it is kind of non-conformities and what can be the possible solution based on the previous resolutions or something new that it can propose to the user. Do the documentation, archiving, sending the right notification, everything without going out to the public cloud. So it is actually built on Mistral AI capabilities, so exactly in line with what the data privacy and data protection of the client was asking for that, leveraging a BTP platform as a foundational stack, data from non-SAP and SAP all come together, bringing those kind of solution with any, let's say, sharing or risking your information, crucial information about your operation with other kind of organization outside, even the certified one. So we can see a very quick demo on this. We have also implemented this for let's say mobile devices, this solution definitely, because the people needs to go in some specific areas when they are trying to identify those kind of non-conformities. So this is exactly to say it's not true that the regulated industry and these kind of clients cannot leverage on the latest innovation with AI, generative AI and agentic AI as well. Because again, we can leverage on Mistral, different deployment option, on-premise, local, on-cloud, hosted by BTP, customized model, exactly the way you can leverage on ChatGPT, Anthropic, or whatever other LLM providers are offering. Right?
Correct. And of course, this is just an example, okay? So, and this kind of example, it's based on our conversation with the client, our client. And so our suggestion is just to re-elaborate based on your needs, coming from your business domain, your business segments, where we can ideate maybe together additional similar application, maybe mobile, maybe any device, doesn't matter, okay? But if you are in a regulated industry, maybe you already have your data classification, so Gen AI is possible and business AI is possible exactly on the same time. Just one more remark, and in my opinion, just to topic, the partner ecosystem, because we are saying since the beginning that this is a space where no one can play alone, okay? And this is why our three-way partnership between Capgemini, SAP, and Mistral. And we are doing something similar in other contexts with other players. So no one can play alone, because as a system integrator, we need to work with clients. Clients need vendors. Vendors need, so this kind of triangulation and ecosystem, it's a must, in our opinion. People and talent as well. It's not just technology, it's not just business, but it's a way on how we can support colleagues from Capgemini, from your side, in understanding exactly the art of the possible, okay? Solving any kind of maybe mindset topic, okay? Because again, sovereignty is a topic, the technologies available today to implement great stuff as well if you have a very stringent requirement on your data and you need very tailored deployment option for your SAP transformation considering Gen AI and business AI part of it. So we are exactly on time. I don't know if we want to manage few questions. In case, feel free outside as well. We are here for the day. You have our contact. Feel free to ping us in case you want to drill down something more. Thank you.